Oh, there we go. Hey guys, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coach and Company. My name is Peyton Lodge, young host boy, running the show, filling in for the coach on a Tuesday morning here on the Stadium Network and everywhere that Stadium is: Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, DirecTV, Roku, Vizio, LG. We're in over 100 million homes. I want to encourage everyone, real quick, to check out our Coach and Company YouTube page where we got everything right there for you in case you miss a show or you want to check us out later. We also got weekday wagers on there at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And tomorrow night, every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, you can catch Coach and Bro on Stadium with our guy, the coach, and Vince Russo. It also repeats at 6 a.m. Eastern Time for those like Sleepy Sloopy who are in bed by 9. And don't forget Coach's brand new radio show that runs daily on Sirius XM channel 156, Pro Wrestling Nation. Catch off the ropes from 2 to 4 Eastern Time. All right. All that housekeeping is out of the way. Let's take a quick look at how we did last night. See what we got going over here. Producer man says it's not working. We'll move on. All right. The best part about doing a live show, though, is that every weekday we get to run it back today. So, as we got one heck of a crew with us waiting to give their best bets. Let's bring them in then. So, without further ado, it's time to beat the books. All right, morning, guys. Definitely a nice little crew. A lot of times, coach is out of town. It usually falls on a Friday. So, what's new for me is that I get to host a show with the Tuesday crew now. So, first, I get to say good morning to our numbers guy in the bottom left corner. It's Raphael. How we doing, Raph?
Doing pretty good. Come back from a little bit of a business trip, but boy, took a beating yesterday. My boy, Rhino goes down yesterday. Hearts and thoughts and prayers to the Sandberg family. Tough day to be a Cub fan today.
Yeah, without question. We'll get into a little bit of Sandberg's legacy later in the show if we got some time. But next up, no one gives green check marks like this guy. Should I say check marks or Chuck marks? See what I did there, Chuck. Come on. Morning, sir. How we doing?
Morning, Peyton Company. Yeah, the RIP out to Rhino. We're losing too many of our legends as well, but we'll look to have a little conversation about that later on. But look forward to some plays today. We got a lot on the docket.
Definitely have a lot going on today, especially on the baseball docket and apparently on the soccer docket too. Big Chuck, so pretty excited about that. Next up, top right hand corner, Mr. Zeno. Good morning, sir. How we doing?
Peyton, gentlemen, good to be with you as always. We started off on a somber note. I don't know how to turn it around, so I'll leave that to Soupy to do.
Well, yeah, I was going to say last, but least, it's our boy Sloopy who took the L last week in the prize fight. So, looking to avoid becoming the first prize fighter ever to lose back-to-back weeks more than 3 times in the same season. So, yeah, how we doing, Sloopy?
What kind of stats are that? Those are Goldberg 163 straight matches stats. What is that? Come on.
Hey, never, never let the facts get in the way of a good story. All right, let's get on with our best bets today. We'll start with Rafi. Raf, where are we headed today, sir?
I had to because I think the Cubs bats are going to wake up in honor of what happened yesterday. So I'm going to take the Cubs team total over 4.5 at plus 115. Yes, the Cubs are averaging 4.5 runs per game, but on the road, they're averaging 5.4 runs per game. Yesterday, they lost first place because the Brewers took game one in this big series. So I think the Cubs would come back and take game two. Their last 6 games for them have hit this number. So I think the Cubs offense produces some runs today. And then, hey, ladies, I haven't said that in a while. Give me the Aces Sparks. Both teams to score over 82.5. I'll lay the minus 125. Aces last 4 road games, they're averaging 86 points per game. And all of a sudden, what the Sparks are doing, their offense has been blowing up, averaging 97.2 points per game in their last 5 games. And all 5 of those games have been W's.
Wow, yeah, 5 wins in a row for the Sparks.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is both teams to score? Why didn't you just take the over in the game?
Because that could be something I have something
Over
down the
not
road.
164. If it's 82.5, isn't he over 164, 165?
No, the total's in the 70s, I thought.
Oh, numbers got checked.
175 is the total.
How are both teams to score 82.5 points? Okay.
Hey.
We're in a new world right now.
Ask DraftKings. Call DraftKings. I'll give you a number. It's 1-8.
Okay, if that's the case, that smells like the world's biggest sucker bet I've ever seen. Both teams to score the same amount of points doesn't eat. Never mind. I'm done. Okay. I'll wait till my turn. I apologize, Peyton. I apologize.
No, it's a valid question. I was wondering the same.
Mark's not even here, and he's already riled.
In Chuck's sport, I've seen that BTTS stuff, which is BS anyway. But nonetheless, I've never seen that in any other sport other than soccer.
Well, Cameron Brank's making her season debut tonight, right?
Yeah, season debut tonight. Yep.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Sparks have won 5 straight, so yeah, like you've mentioned, all those games being wins. Anyway, yeah, Zeno.
Sorry,
I'll go right to you after. Where we going?
Sorry. I am going St. Louis Cardinals first 5 run line today. Boy, you get this sort of collision here of 2 pitching matchups that I really like. Sandy Alcantara, whose ERA is higher than a college student on the road this year, so he's not going to be very good. You get the best starter, and I know Sonny Gray's been banged around as of late, but I feel like he's in a must-win spot here. So the Cardinals bats will lay the half run in the first 5, as the Cards offense should get to Alcantara pretty good. And then, look, Rafi, I'm with you on the Cubs here, but I actually have a set of balls, and we'll just bet the money line because the Cubs are 31-12 after a loss straight up this year. That's 72.1%. They get right tonight. They get behind Colin Ray, and Quinn Priester, who's been doing this with pixie dust and fake stuff, is not going to survive here tonight. So give me Cubs money line.
Yes, Rev.
I was gonna do is Zeno. You know the Cubs have lost 9 straight season openers on the road, so that's why they lost yesterday.
Well, that's why they're 31-12 in game 2, because they don't lose 2 in a row. So there we go.
So I agree with Zeno on this play.
We're simpatico. I just, like I said, I bet like a man, and you bet like a BTTS.
There is synergy, just not that much, is what we're saying here. All right, Soupy, I'm gonna go to you next. What do we got today?
I might as well just go with my Cubs and Brewers playing right now. I'm going with the over 8.5. Quentin Priester, last time he faced the Cubs, he allowed 7 earned to them. And Colin Ray, I think Colin Ray has been inconsistent all year. He's had some good runs, and then he's had some rough starts. So I'm going to go with the over 8.5 in that game. And the Yankees, my God, the Yankees are so bad right now. They lost to the Rays last night, but I think they can bounce back tonight. Max Fried is up. The Rays, my God, they are batting terrible against lefties. Just 190 in the last 7 games. And I think that this will be a bullpen game for the Rays because Joe Boyle will start. And I think the Yankees can finally get a desperately needed win against an American League East team.
Yeah, finally, Max Fried out there on the mound. So hopefully they get something going finally. But Big Chuck, I'm going to you, sir. Where are we headed?
Day Soccer Champions League qualifiers, and I got a good one. Cervena Vesta, a.k.a. Red Star Belgrade, and Lincoln Red Imps. Classic blowout spot. I see the goals coming early and often in this one. So I'm just going to back the first half over 1.75 goals with Red Star Belgrade. They actually average 2 first half team goals alone. So yeah, and then this one, 3 or more, you get full pay. So first half over 1.75.
Love it. If you like what Big Chuck's doing, go ahead and scan that QR code right there. It'll take you right to roicapper.com/store and give you all those green Chuck marks we were talking about. Thanks, Big Chuck. All right. Oh, whoa. Bruce, man, is that the guy from the band SideQuest right there? you know. All right. So our boy Mark from Just the Stats Sports. Mark, what does the model over at JTS have for us in store today?
Peyton, I'm not going to use model plays because I know Zeno is fired up right now, and he is not afraid to pull the trigger. So first up, we're going to take Angel Reese to record a double-double tonight. She has been on an absolute tear with these things, hitting 9 of her last 10 and 5 of her last 6 against Washington. She's dominating the paint and pulling down boards, just like it's her full-time job. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. It is. And we're going to pair that with the Cincinnati Reds' Tyler Stevenson to record a hit. This dude has been automatic at home. He's gone over in 9 of his last 10 overall games and batting over 300 in his last 5 at home. Put them both together, you're going to get a plus 126 Just a Stat Sports Player of the Day.
Love it, Mark. Use the QR code right there. It'll take you right to the site. Then all you got to do is use code BTT30 so you can get your first 30 days free. Mark, what I'm hearing, you guys over at JTS are very excited for the upcoming NFL season because of some new algorithms, excuse me. But just last night, the model had a great night in the WNBA. Is that true, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got still plenty of Major League Baseball going on. We had the WNBA last night. The model said "model my ass," and we went 6-2 between the model and Capper picks. So,
there are models in the WNBA.
They walk in, every day. It's a fashion show over there. It's fashion.
Cunningham is sort of taking the league by storm, but I thought she was a heck of a rebounder and throws a good right hook. That's about it.
Yeah, I know Zeno's gonna be watching that Angel Reese double pick tonight.
It's worth a look. I mean, she is a double machine, right? The model says so.
It is.
The model says so.
Okay.
I mean, if the model says so, then I mean, come on. All right. Well, if you want to cash with young host boy today, I got the Phillies putting it on the White Sox tonight in Chicago. Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Phillies lost 6-2 yesterday. I think they dominate Chicago tonight because Chicago stinks. Phillies -1.5 at -127. And I love the over today in San Francisco. It's Bailey Falter against Justin Verlander. Bailey Falter, a 3.83 ERA. Giants batters hitting .333 against him as a team. And Justin Verlander, 1-8 this year with an ERA of 4.7. He's having a brutal season. We're taking the over 8 in San Francisco at -110. I think we're going to see close to 10 runs in this game. But guys, I want to come back to you real quick because how about the fact of this new era of baseball we're in here where we actually see a 42-year-old Justin Verlander have a 1-8 record,
Speaking of models, I mean, at least he gets to go home to Kate Upton. I mean, doesn't matter how bad he is. Life's going good for him. That model works there, Mark. That's the model we're talking about.
Now that is one heck of a model with that clip.
Yes.
I mean, after a big loss, he's coming home. It's all right. Tough loss, honey. Another day of getting lit up. I don't know. So another guy that comes to mind though, who does not have a model like Sandy or like Kate Upton. I was gonna say Sandy Alcantara is another guy who kind of comes to mind right now. 6.66 ERA. He's 5-9 on the year, but Soupy is actually kind of like a trade piece right now. A lot of teams are trying to go after this guy.
Because, again, he is a former Cy Young winner, so if he could find that magic again, maybe sometimes it's always about just changing your environment. The Marlins, they're not winning anything, so if they could get him as like a back sort of rotation piece, maybe he starts to get a little better known that he's in a playoff situation.
Yeah, I mean, Raf, now Verlander diminishing because of his age, but Sandy's still just 29 years old, so unfortunate to see a guy kind of decline this drastically after some surgeries.
Well, he improved now as Seth Lugo signed a contract with KC because he was probably the number one pitcher maybe being out there for traded. So now the Marlins are going to pick up their phone probably and get better pieces now that Sandy's probably maybe the number one pitcher that could be traded by Friday.
Probably. I'm pretty excited to see what happens in the trade deadline and what moves are made, hopefully from the Angels standpoint. Maybe the Angels are buyers. Who knows? All right. The vibes are immaculate today on a Tuesday. If you're not watching, if you're not having a good time here, then get the heck out of here. Well, we have a special one-word segment coming today. We got to look ahead, bet the futures, boxing gloves, prize fight. Let's go. It's Coaching Company on Stadium.
If you didn't experience Hulk Hogan 40 years ago like we did, you have zero idea of the impact this guy had. We lived through it. I lived through it. Coach lived through it. We know the impact he had. I worked with Rock. I worked with Austin. The impact Hogan had during his time was tenfold. There's no question about it. And think about that, Coach. Think about you've got the biggest baby face in the history of professional wrestling. Now he's going to take the chance of turning heel. That's a chance. That can totally backfire. And he doesn't have to do it, Coach. He could
he didn't have to. No.
Yeah, exactly. He could have said he could have said that doesn't work for me, brother. But he knew. He knew if I want to be relevant, I need to evolve. And that's what he did. And he became just as big as heel as he was a babyface. And think about that, Coach. How many people can really, really accomplish that at his level?
Oh, at that level, I mean, you're counting on one hand, if even that many. And the thing about it, if I'm a young talent, I'm looking back at character development. How do I get myself over? We talked about it with Seth Rollins when he turns heel, and then they left his music the same for a week or two. Those little things matter. When Hulk turned heel, everything was different. The look, the black, whiskers, and the shirt, all of that fun yellow, red, that was gone. That was on purpose, and it worked because when you looked at him, he looked like a bad guy from a movie. He did. And that's what he.
You can check that out on our YouTube page, Coach and Bro, and they're talking about the legend of Hulk Hogan. I gotta give a shout out to Hulk Hogan because he was a guy that woke me up for class in the mornings because he's sitting there on TV in tight shorts with my dad, and I'm like 7 years old, and I'm looking at the TV like, oh my God, what the heck is going on up there? And yeah, definitely got me ready for class time. So that's a guy that got me up in the morning. Hulk Hogan. Who thought he'd get a kindergartner up for class? All right, we'll be right back on Stadium. All right, welcome back to Coach and Company live on the Stadium Network. It's Tuesday, and we're having fun as always. Peyton Lodge here in for the coach. And guys, we are just way more of a sports betting show. We're sports fans. We love to talk sports in general. We love to talk about the current hot topics, but we like to keep it simple, especially on Tuesdays when Sloopy's on the show. So it's time to get it going with a little one word. All right. One of my favorite segments here. We'll start it off with my boy, Bryce Harper. Just one word on said topic, guys, but we all know how the game goes at this point. Come on now. It's our favorite show. Well, we'll start it off. Bryce Harper and MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred. Things got a little heated between the two. Harper reportedly told Rob Manfred to get the F out of their clubhouse when the commissioner started talking a little bit about the business side of baseball, even though Manfred never explicitly mentioned the salary cap in the clubhouse, but one word on Bryce Harper cussing out the commissioner.
Lockout, because it is inevitable. It doesn't matter if Robin didn't specifically say salary cap. The owners want a salary cap. The players don't. I think there should be a salary floor. Teams like the Marlins and the Pirates should not be spending $70 million a year on their payroll, while the Yankees and the Dodgers are spending $300 million. But inevitably, lockout.
Tone setter. Look, he's not going to walk into another clubhouse without getting the same thing. Bryce Harper sort of let everybody know and put every clubhouse on alert that we're not standing for this. I don't necessarily think that, Soupy, that it leads to a lockout. I mean, baseball will never have a salary cap, ever. And it's not that the owners can't afford to pay. It's that they don't want to pay it. They all can afford to do it. They just choose not to. And because, as you said, a salary cap brings in a salary floor, and there are certain owners who don't want to spend a minimum of $150 million with a salary cap of $300 million, whatever it may be. So I think it's a tone setter for the rest of the negotiations here. But they'll be contentious. I still think they get it done, though.
My one word is leadership for Bryce Harper. Boy, did everyone step up and say, wow, if this guy just cussed out the boss in the locker room, we're going to go behind him. Because let's face it, all the players just watched Tampa Bay get sold for $1 billion, the worst team in baseball, and now you're telling us we have to be force-fed a salary cap? Leadership for Bryce Harper.
My one word is relationships. I'm not talking about Love Island relationships. I'm talking about having good relationships and communication with the guys you're trying to make deals with, because at the end of the day, it takes two to come to an agreement. Several team owners are pushing for a salary cap in the MLB, but Obviously, the Players Association strongly opposes it. Could we see a stoppage when a current collective bargaining agreement expires in December of 26? And by work stoppage, I mean a players' strike. I don't know. There's no way the players can let that happen. There's too many players that are very satisfied with their financial situations right now. Juan Soto. And the league is doing really well at the moment. They just gave us an all-star game that was actually entertaining for the first time in years. We've seen some young stars emerge, make name for themselves the past couple of seasons. The league's in a really good place right now, and to keep it that way, maintain positive relationships. So Bryce Harper, I'm a huge fan of yours, but what are we doing? That's the commissioner of Major League Baseball right there.
He's also a tool, the commissioner of Major League Baseball. He's
He
also a
is.
moron. Every time there's a chance for him to screw up, he goes, wait, here, hold my beer. Watch, I'll show you how this is done.
Maybe you should go over to the WNBA. I'm kidding. Not sure if you guys saw this for topic number 2, but after all of the out of shape talk throughout his 7-year NBA career, Luka Doncic is now on the cover of the Men's Health magazine, and we're seeing some pretty darn impressive results from the NBA star. One word on the transformation of Luka Doncic.
Revenge bod. We've seen it. When someone breaks up with you, what do? You get in the best shape of your life to show them what you are missing. Luka finally realizes that maybe that was the problem. He really did get shredded, and now I don't think the Lakers are a contender to win the title this year, especially in a tough Western Conference. But I think they'll be a lot better if Luka is in better shape, can play better, and that whole overall team can play better.
Supplements. I'd love to know what regimen he got on. The NBA does not test for those sort of things when it comes to performance enhancing weight cutters and things of that nature. There's no way he transformed his body that quickly in a matter of 3 months without some legitimate help from the pharmaceutical industry. So good for him. I'm glad he's getting in shape. And to Sloopy's point that, yeah, it's a little bit of that, like this is what you're missing, but there was some corners cut to get here.
My one word is defense. I don't care how much weight you lost. You still can't play defense. I don't care if you lost 100 pounds. Defense was always his struggle, not his weight, not his offense, not his shooting, was defense. So, yeah, I can do curls, push-ups, chin, whatever you're doing at the gym, but can you play defense? My answer is no.
They ain't paying him for defense there, Ref.
Definitely not. But I'm with Snoopy. My one word is motivated. This is the first offseason Luka's had as a non-Dallas Maverick. You don't think he's a little extra motivated after being traded from a place he thought was home for life? Not to mention, this is a 26-year-old in his prime who went from an NBA Finals appearance to losing in the first round of the playoffs in just 5 games last year. He's got to be a little pissed off. He can't waste these prime Luka years, and he has clearly used that to his benefit. Now, let's not sit here and say he's going to stay in front of everybody and become a great defender all of a sudden, but this could really help him stay healthy and not become as fatigued once the playoffs come around. All right, topic number 3, a little more Micah Parsons talk. Now, sports writer Mike Florio said that Micah Parsons should have never gone to training camp. He said that he is hurting himself by going. All right, one word on Mike Florio's comment regarding Micah Parsons' decision when it comes to just simply playing football.
True, because what's Trey Henderson doing? He's not at training camp. I think he has more leverage in contract negotiations. Parsons, he even went to mini camp. I know you're trying to play with ball with the team and you're trying to be a team player, but I think your teammates would agree that it's about you getting your money right now. And Parsons is the best pass rusher in all of football. I think right now he's losing leverage by saying he's going to go to minicamp.
My word is source, as in the source that it came from, as in that being Mike Florio. I'd rather listen to advice from my ex-wife's divorce lawyer than listen to Mike Florio give advice on anything. And I just, where is he to give Micah Parsons advice on how these negotiations are going? Look, Micah Parsons is going to get paid before the season starts, the same way Dak got paid on the eve of the season last year. This is what Jerry Jones does. This is about headlines. It's about news. It's about keeping himself relevant. It's about cameras and eyes on the Dallas Cowboys. It's not about money. Mike is going to get paid, and Micah knows he's going to get paid, but Jerry is going to drag this out publicly for attention. But Mike Florio, really? We should start listening to him?
Ooh, my one word was Florio, just because I don't trust this guy one bit what he says. I'm tired of him coming out and telling what people what should do when he's never put pads on. So my one word is Florio, because what are you talking about? You've never played the game. Parsons will get paid. Maybe not Watt money, but he's going to get paid.
I guess I'm with Zeno and Raf here. My one word is young. He's just a young man who wants to play football. Can we pay this guy, please? He's going to get paid. So Florio going out and saying that he should have never gone to training camp. Come on, man. No one should be saying that about Micah Parsons. Who is he to say something like that? Someone who chose to go and play for his team despite the craziness that surrounds him off the field right now. But come on, put some respect on his name for just simply showing up in the first place. Man, topic number 4. All right. Chris Paul is back home. He said the other day, guys, it was a no-brainer. He also said things like, I didn't even care what the team looked like. I just wanted to get back here and play by any means necessary. One word on Chris Paul returning to his home here in LA, by any means necessary.
Swan song, because it looks like this he wants to put a cap on the career. So I think it's over for him. This might be his last season. And yeah, the team doesn't look good. You got Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Chris Paul. I think you can put that starting lineup in the AARP right now, because this team looks old and tired, and in the Western Conference, it looks bad.
Swan song's 2 words. Just
No,
retirement, end, finale, closure, whatever it may be. Anyway.
The rules are loose in this game.
Oh, are they okay? All right. Loose is also one word. My one word would be fit. This is the best fit for Chris Paul as he ends his career. This is where he wants to be. It wasn't about money. He took the veterans minimum, right? $3 million to show up. He doesn't care about the money. Doesn't care about anything else. He wants to be in a place where he's comfortable. This is a good fit for him. The team will be competitive. He's got a chance to play high-level basketball, and he's home. Also one word.
Closure. He's home. He's going to retire. But why the Clippers? They have 5 players that are over 35 years old. I'm sorry. Yeah, go home. But why don't you just retire? Just do a one-day contract and then retire.
Hey, Raph, the 2017 Clippers look great from here.
Without question. If this was a Clippers team from 2017, it's a pretty darn good team. But I don't know. My one word is hero, and is in hometown hero, because this guy loves LA. LA loves him. He's in a perfect situation here because he wants to retire probably after this season. But let me remind everyone what the Clippers roster looks like next season. Kawhi, Harden, Zubac. They went and got Brooke Lopez and Bradley Beal. I think a lot of people also forgot they got John Collins. So could be a pretty slow year next year for the Clippers. And by slow, I mean literally running up and down the court. And Chris Paul gets to live in his home with his family in Encino. Pretty nice. It's almost like when we brought up Zeno, the Verlander topic of him coming down or coming back to Kate Upton. It's like, okay, Clippers lose, and he comes back to his family like, oh, it's all right. Tough loss, honey. We'll get him tomorrow or something. You want to go to the kids' game or something? Like something around home. He's an Encino guy for life. So literally 2 minutes from me. So kind of nice to see Chris Paul back home. But nice job on one word, guys, except for Soupy, 2 words. Disrespect on the one word name. The rules are loose? Loose? What are we doing? These are loose rules. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh, that's going to be a post-production meeting topic without question. Oh my God. All right, guys. Great job. One word. So fun as always. Still to come. It's Tuesday, the best day of the week. So we got ourselves a little prize fight coming right after the break. We got that one coming. We bet the futures with our NFL team of the day. Yesterday it was the Eagles. Who will it be today? You'll have to wait and find out. And a little Deion Sanders talk later on. All of that still to come on this great Tuesday morning. It's Coaching Company live on Stadium. Oh, yeah. Time to go around the diamond with our boy Mark from GPS. Mark, where are we headed?
Let's start off. Coach isn't here, so I can say it. Nerfy! We are going to go with the Washington-Houston no-run first inning at -110. We're getting Jason Alexander, who's starting for Houston, and he has been absolutely perfect in the first inning through limited work. got 0.0 ERA, a 1.0 whip, and he's holding opponents to a 175 batting average in the first inning. He's facing a Washington offense that's failed to score in the first inning in 3 straight games and is hitting below 200 in the first over the last 30 days. On the other side, we get Mike Soroka. He's got a higher ERA, but his .88 whip really just means that he's limiting traffic early. I love this spot for both teams to stay scoreless in the first. And then we're going to go with the Cleveland Guardians on the run line, -1.5 at -107. Look, this boils down to simply one thing. They are playing the Rockies, and yes, I know that the Rockies won last night. I don't care. The Rockies still are the Rockies. They suck. They are they're 20-31 against the spread away from Coors Field. I think that with Cleveland coming off the loss, this is a prime bounce back spot, especially for almost even money. Give me the Guardians on the run line, and that is your Round the Diamond.
Around the diamond on Tuesdays and Thursdays here on Coach and Company. Now, Mark, yeah, I've actually been kind of fading the White Sox, who kind of take into the same role as the Rockies. I know the Rockies have been winning. The White Sox have actually been winning a couple of series the past couple of weeks, but I've still just continued to fade them. Also, Mark, I wanted to say real quick, I caught the Weekday Wager show yesterday, and I heard you talking a little bit about your Padres, and I just have to say, how dare you disrespect the great Martin Maldonado? Oh, my goodness. Any last words on Martin Maldonado?
Yeah, he should have retired 3 years ago.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe the Angels will sign him to a 2-year deal, $15 million or something.
It'd be right on brand.
Stop that. Not funny. All right, we'll be back on Stadium in just a couple of seconds here. Great show today. We're having fun. Stick around. All right. Oh, man. I'm in the host chair for this. This is just so good. I can say whatever I want. We're having a great time.
National TV. Come on.
National TV. Love it. Now at the bottom of the hour, we always like to get us going with a little prize fight here. So apparently this guy works for Prize Picks, but I beat him last week. And we all know the rules, folks. If you win the week before, you get to go first today. So Sloopy, please stay muted. All right, first we're taking Justin Verlander to give up more than 2.5 runs today. Yeah, it's against the Pirates, but anytime I see this number as a demon pick for Verlander, I'll take it. I don't care who he's playing. He's 1-8 with an ERA of 4.7. We mentioned it earlier in the show. The Pirates just got 6 last night. They're going to get themselves 3 against Verlander. Come on. Next, we're taking Trey Turner, who's hitting 291 on the year, and he went 0 for last night. Do the math. He's up against Jonathan Cannon of the White Sox. We're taking him to get more than 1.5 total bases, 2 total bases tonight to help the Phillies get back on track. Lastly, we'll go with Quinn Priester, less than 4.5 strikeouts now because of what he's been doing lately. Definitely an unpopular pick today on this Prize Picks. Actually, one of the popular picks is him more than, but I got to take the less than because the Cubs don't strike out that much at all. And go look at the Cubs hitters against Priester, just 3 strikeouts in 30 at-bats. I like Quinn Priester less than 4.5 strikeouts tonight. Now, let's see what Soupy's 3-piece Bozo pack has in store for us.
I'm going to start with Vlad Guerrero Jr. He's been hot lately, so I'm going to go with him over 3.5 total bases. He's done this in 4 of his last 5. He's going to Camden Yards, where he's batting .370 at the ballpark. He's facing Charlie Morton, who he is 2 for 6 against. So I got him on a good night tonight. Randall Grichuk is not going to have a good night because he's been struggling. He's gone under this hits, runs, and RBI number in 14 of his last 16, including his debut with the Royals last night. I think he's going to do it again tonight. And Tyler Glasnow, I think he's got a great game against the Reds. I love the Reds. I really want the Reds to do well. There's a lot of talent on that team, but they're just not consistent, and they strike out a lot. Glasnow has a 33% strikeout rate against this lineup. The Reds are 26 in strikeout rate, so give me the more than 7 strikeouts.
Less than total bases. I'm just writing this down for later. Randall Grichuk, we're making sure has a good night, and then Glasnow, we're hoping Maybe hit some guys and goes less than his strikeouts. Oh man. Okay, I will say something nice though, Sloopy, for finally. That was a really good take. That was a really good take. All three of them, really good takes. I actually, yeah, mine were a little sloppy, little sloppy, sloopy. All right, well, PrizePicks is a company that we really hope to get a call from one of these days here at Coaching Company. Soupy and I battle each other in the prize fight every Tuesday morning, and of course, we will have the recap for you guys tomorrow on Wednesday's F Day edition of Coaching Company, and a really funny video from what might be for me, or you might get unlucky and get a video from Sloopy that you regret watching. But our NFL preseason coverage continues today here as we are just 39 days away from week one. My goodness, it's July 29th. I have to go back to school soon. But today we're talking big games for the Detroit Lions. It's time to bet the future, guys. God, that looks so cool. It looks so cool. All right, the Detroit Lions, arguably the best regular season team in the NFL last year at 15-2. Get to the postseason, they get the bye week, and they lose to Jaden McDaniels and the Washington Commanders, 45-31. Zeno, I'm going to go to you first. Any of these games right here, notable games, stand out to you immediately?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying. I don't know. Look, I think that this Lions team is in for a rude awakening this year. They've got a bunch of changes. They've lost both coordinators. Their center retired. They've already got an injury to the defensive end. Aiden Hutchinson coming back from injury. Who knows what he's going to be? I'll look at that Monday night game against Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is wildly undervalued. I think they're going to be really good this year. They're going to have an incredible offense once again, and that Detroit secondary cannot live up to the passing game that the Buccaneers have on Monday night. So I would lean in that spot right there to take the Bucks plus the points.
Big Chuck, when Zeno said they're going to have a rude awakening this year, you were shaking with him. What are your thoughts on the Lions next season or this season?
Super tough schedule, just like the Eagles yesterday. I think 4 of these 5 games are primetime short weeks in some spots also. So I think week 1, they're going to come out. I think the Packers rolled them in week 1. Then they get the new look Bears. And then week 3, they have the Ravens. They could possibly be 0-3 before they face the Browns for week 4. I think it's a plus they have the most liability. The books have the most liability for the Lions to win the Super Bowl. So there'll be some extra incentive for them to pick up losses throughout the season.
Raf, so Chuck mentioned week 1. We see a little PK under the Green Bay helmet. Can you explain a little bit of what that means for, a little boy like me?
It's going to be a tough game that we're probably going to see penalty kicks at the end. No, the PK usually means for a pick 'em, which is very interesting because this one opened up at a pick and now it's -1.5 Green Bay. I completely agree with what Zeno said. It's going to be a tough year for Detroit. There are 6 times they're a dog this year. They're the only division favorite that are a dog 6 times in all their games this year. So it's going to be very interesting. And I agree with Chuck. They can maybe start 0-3. So game 1, I would say lay to 1.5 because it wouldn't be shocking if we see 2 or 3 by kickoff.
The only team or the only division leader to be underdogs in 6 games. That's crazy. But Soupy, I'm going over to you. But that's kind of wild. From a prize pick standpoint, one of the most targeted player props or guys last year was Jahmyr Gibbs rushing yards. And I specifically say rushing yards because their end zone guy was David Montgomery. So, yes, a lot of popular picks last year was Gibbs more than rushing yards and David Montgomery more than 0.5 touchdowns. But when it comes to a fantasy draft, how close are these two running backs as far as running back tiers are concerned?
When you're looking at Gibbs, because I've been doing a lot of drafts lately, Gibbs is that first round guy. He's usually going to be the 3rd or the 4th running back off the board because Montgomery is usually limited to the red zone and the goal line. He's going to go down a little further. But again, he's also a short yardage guy. You might get yards from there. But Gibbs, he's the all around guy because especially with prize picks, I'm not going to just take his rushing yards. I love his rushing and receiving yards because he usually gets those total yards either way. So this year with Prize Picks and even with betting in general, take his total yards because he's going to get them both ways.
15-2 last season were the Detroit Lions. Those two losses were to the Buccaneers and the Bills. Both losses at home in Detroit. So, Zeno, they don't have to play the Bills this year, but that Bucs game you mentioned, the Monday night game in Detroit again. What are your thoughts on the line being where it's at currently? You said you like the Lions.
Well, again, I mean, we talked about the opening of their schedule, right? Before they get to their bye in Week 8, they have 4 road games at Green Bay, at Baltimore, at Cincinnati, and at Kansas City. How many wins do you smell there? Their home games are against Chicago, Cleveland, and a Tampa Bay team on Monday night. I mean, they could be 3-4 conceivably by their bye week and be, at least have 2 division losses already. It's not going to be fun or easy for the Lions this year. It's going to require a hell of a coaching job, and Jared Goff is going to have to play his tail off in order to cover up a lot of the warts and a lot of the holes that this team has. And I just don't know if it happens that way. Look, the Lions are still going to be very competitive and very good. But I just look at that spot. It's one of those things where they go back-to-back road games at Cincinnati and then at Kansas City, and then they come home for Tampa Bay. It feels like it's a spot where Tampa Bay might keep that thing within a field goal.
Yeah, without question. Big Chuck mentioned it too. He was on your side as well, Zeno. He was saying they could be easily 0-3 after 3 games. Big Chuck, your thoughts on that Bears game? I think when you say 0-3, I'm thinking about that Bears game because weeks 1 and 3 do look very challenging and very possible to lose. What about them against the Bears?
Yeah, we forget. Yeah, the Lions, they've also lost both their offensive and defensive coordinators, so they'll be facing their old offensive coordinator with the new look Bears. I think that's going to be a tricky spot for them. Coming off I still think the Packers take them in week 1, so coming in 0-1, they may have a little desperation mode, but at the same time, it could be a look-ahead game to that Ravens game the next week in prime time. I definitely think the Bears are going to give them all that they can handle. I agree with everyone. I think this is just going to be a tricky season for the Lions.
Yeah, it seems like we're all agreeing on that fact. Raphael, given that there are no injuries, which I know is unfortunately inevitable in the NFL, but let's say everyone remains healthy for the Detroit Lions the first 2 weeks, but they drop a game to the Bears. Probably might happen, might not. I'm sorry to Mikey P. But how drastically would a Bears loss change the line for the Ravens game in week 3?
Probably a full whole point or maybe a point and a half. But look, we have to look at what happens on weeks 1 and 2. Now, if you really want to dissect the Lions, look at their total season wins. Why would you take 10.5 minus 130 when you look at their schedule, when you can take under 9.5 at plus 125 or plus 130 if you shop around? I think it's just going to be a long season for Detroit. We saw injuries get bit last year. I see injuries get bit this year. And they're not that deep of a team this year. So I'm fading the Lions. I would say look at 9.5 total season wins under. Don't even take that 10.5.
We're all talking about fading the Lions. Sloopy, this early, I know it's early, but if everyone remains healthy, I think my eyeballs immediately go to the Chiefs game. I get that it's in Kansas City, but I kind of like the Lions in that game if I had to bet the futures. What game do you like the Lions most in?
I like them against Green Bay. I will say in that week 1, I don't think the Lions, they're not going to be 15-2. I don't even think they're going to win that division. I think Minnesota is my favorite to win that division. I do think they're a wild card contender. And with both offensive coordinators, John Morton's the new OC, who was the special assistant in 2021. So he helped build that offense. And Kelvin Shepard's the defensive coordinator, who's been the linebackers coach the last 3 years. So no different schemes. So I think there's not going to be an adjustment there. So I think against the Packers, who I'm going to kind of fade this year. They did not play as well as I thought they would last year, and I don't know how I feel about them. So I think the Lions could come away with, especially with it being like a 1.5. I would take the Lions.
Peyton, I feel good about the Lions against the Giants. That's the game I feel like they're going to
win. Yeah, I think we all feel good about that. We got to go to break. Coaching Company on Stadium.
What is a dimmer box? A dimmer box is a rugged portable speaker. It's a vault to hold all your things, keep them dry and safe, and it's a charger. You're looking at 40 hours of playtime. So we charge this thing maybe once a week when we're traveling and adventuring. There's volume controls on the outside of the box here, so you can turn it up and down. If you have your phone inside there charging, it's nice and safe and dry. All right, so we're gonna hook the Deemer box to our phone. I'm gonna show you some tricks. You just hit the button on the front. You've got the battery gauge here. That lets you know how full your battery is. You got a volume here as well. So you just turn it on, go to your Bluetooth, Deemer box DV2, and it says when it's paired. Yep, and so inside the lid, if you're just jamming tunes and you're not around water or anything like that, you can leave this open. But if you're going into a wet or muddy, snowy environment, inside the lid right here is a plug. You undo this plug, it pops out. Put it right in the top right here. Give it a few turns. Turn it on. Now you've got a waterproof speaker box. Now you can play it for the whales. I think there's a use for each individual person. The Deemer box, like this is mine with all my stickers, my things on it. You can kind of make them your own. That's part of the love of them. Like I have a connection with these because it's like a good belt or like a good pair of boots. You can cater your lifestyle to your Deemer box, but there's no other speaker that charges your things and holds all your stuff, keeps it dry and safe. That's what sets this apart. So I'd recommend y'all trying a Deemer box and bring it because it's so much more than a speaker.
So much more than a speaker. You can put your stuff in it as well. What the heck? And it sings to the whales. Come on, who doesn't love that? Use code Coach10 to save 10% on your Deemer box. We'll be right back on Stadium in a couple seconds. All right, we're back on Stadium here and everywhere that Stadium is. We're going to lock it in just a few minutes here. But first, we're going to go and talk a little bit about Deion Sanders, who announced he's cancer-free after undergoing surgery to remove his bladder after the doctors discovered a tumor in there. That he was joking about it, being kind of funny, saying if you see a porta potty on the sidelines, it's real, which is kind of funny. But we didn't know this was going on. He said he didn't even tell the closest members of his family. We're thankful he's okay, but why do you think he kept that under wraps?
Extremely difficult, and what's even more difficult is that he had to be undergoing treatment at some point throughout the entire offseason process and everything with his son, who was getting drafted in the 4th round. But just credit to Deion for being able to handle all that with a level of dignity and certainly secrecy that is very tough for people to do. So I don't look. He says he's coaching. I believe that he is going to coach. Will his body hold up for 12 weeks during a college football, 14 weeks, including buys for a college football season? Very, very tough to put your body through that kind of thing week in and week out. So we hope for the best for Deion and he stays healthy.
Without question. You bring up a good point for in season too, because I mean this is a guy who feeds off his own energy, right? And yeah, Soupy, I say we didn't even know, or Shadir and Shiloh didn't even know about it and the severity of it. So your take on Deion not even telling his sons, the closest people in his life, about this?
Yeah, for him not to tell his closest people, that's crazy to me. I would think something like that you'd want your whole family to know, but that's Deion's business. And yeah, to doing this during the off-season process, because the off-season, it's still in season for coaches. You're still recruiting, you're still doing training and things like that. So for him to be doing that while probably filling his obligations with the team, I think he'll be fine during the season. Sometimes they need this as a good distraction while things are like this are going on. I do hope everything the best. I hope he is okay. And for Colorado, because it's tough for knowing people that have gone through cancer. It is tough to battle through that and go about your daily duties.
Big Chuck, his daily Deion Sanders' daily duties, maybe they diminish, and he might not be doing as many things when it comes to getting his players through workouts and stuff. But he seems like that coach that's kind of like a trainer type coach that's literally running his guys through a lot of drills. Your take on kind of will his season be altered a little bit as far as coaching comes into play for Dion and the Colorado Buffaloes?
I'm sure, he's already had the issue with his toes, so now this will also
Yeah.
affect him. But I was also amazed that he kept this under wraps with Dion being in the public so much, and then having his son document everything that's going on at the university. So for him to keep that under wraps was amazing. Everyone thought that he was going to maybe step down yesterday at the press conference, so that kind of get everybody off balance. I kind of come out of left field, but I could definitely see him this affecting through the season. Prayers to him. I hope it doesn't. So get well soon, Dion. We're all with you.
Yeah, definitely a scary situation for Dion and the Sanders family, but we're so happy to hear that he's now cancer free. Although someone who did suffer from cancer yesterday, we just learned. Raph, I'm going to come over to you. You got the Cubs jersey on. Ryan Sandberg, who passed away at the age of 65 yesterday, he was battling cancer. He was 10-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glove Award winner, 1984 NL MVP, and a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Right? You got that jersey on. Thoughts on the baseball legacy of Ryan Sandberg?
I'll take both of them, Sanders and Sandberg. This is for us men. We need to go see our doctors. We are the laziest people to go see our doctors to check on everything. So I'm going to use this for a PSA. Go see your doctors, because a lot of this stuff can be checked on. I mean, Dion said that this cancer ran in his family. He didn't do a lot of checkups. He said that multiple times. Ryan Sandberg said it. He didn't do a lot of checkups when he turned 50. So I'm going to say PSA, men, go see your doctor, because it could save your life.
Without question. And that's probably going to put a wrap on our topics for today. We're going to go over to Lock It In time. So we all know a lot of you guys haven't been here the entire hour. Why? Because you have a life. If you haven't been here from the jump, well, I would rethink things. I'm just kidding. Thanks for hanging with us today. But we got to remind you what we're going with today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to lock it in. All right, Raph, I'm going over to you. Where are we going?
We're going to take the Cubs team total over 4.5 at plus 115. I think the bats wake up and they score. I think they beat the Brewers, like Zeno said. Be a man. Be a man waits. I can get a better number now at plus 110 instead of Zeno's number, so I'm going to do that one. And then give me the Aces Sparks. Both teams to score 82.5, minus 125. It just moved to minus 140 5 minutes ago. So I got the better number. So I guess the man won right there. The Sparks' last 5 games, they're averaging 97 points a game with all 5 Ws.
Wow, I must have listened to Zeno with that line change. Big Chuck, where are we going?
Little day soccer Champions League qualifiers. Cervena Vesta, a.k.a. Red Star Belgrade, and Lincoln Red Imps. I just think this is a blowout spot. We'll see goals early and often. I'm just going to knock out the first half over 1.75. And Red Star, they actually averaged 2 first-half team goals on the season alone.
Zeno, coming over to you. Where are we going, man?
St. Louis Cardinals, first 5 run line. We're going to lay the half here, fading Sandy Alcantara, whose ERA on the road is something quite high, in the 9 range, as a matter of fact. Sonny Gray, who is 10-4 on the year, has been very reliable for the Cardinals. His ERA is over 2.5 runs lower at home than it is on the road. Cardinals get to him early. And again, Cubs, money line tonight. They are 31-12 straight up after a loss this year. That's 72.1%. We got Colin Ray on the mound. That's good enough for me. Quinn Priester's been doing this thing with smoke and mirrors. I think he gets lit up tonight. Already got banged around by the Cubs once this year.
Quinn Priester's just due to get lit up at some point. He's been so good lately. Cubs have to light him up at some point. All right, Sloopy, where are we going?
I also got Quinn Priesters to get lit up because I got the Cubs and the Brewers over 8.5. Priester, last time he went against the Cubs, he allowed 7 earned. With Colin Ray, he's just too inconsistent. I love the Brewers bats tonight, so I'm going with the over 8.5. Yankees, I think this is a good day for their bats. They're going to be facing the bullpen of the Rays. Max Fried going, the lefty, and the Rays, they're only batting 190 against lefties in the last 2 weeks. I think this is a big pickup game that the Yankees need.
And we got our boy Mark from JTS, who's been lighting it up as well. Mark, what is our JTS play of the day?
The play of the day, we are going to go with Angel Reese to record a double-double tonight, something she has done in 9 of her last 10 games and 5 of the last 6 matchups against Washington. Look for her to have another big night tonight, and we're going to pair that with Cincinnati Reds' Tyler Stevenson to get at least one hit. He's been absolutely automatic at home, batting over 300 in his last 5 games. They're at home, averaging 1.3 hits a game. Put them both together for plus 126. Just Stat Sports, play of the day.
Use the QR code right there. It'll take you right to the site. Then all you got to do is use code BTT30. And you might ask yourself, why? Well, you can get your first 30 days absolutely free if you do so. We always want to encourage you all to be a part of what we got over there at JTS. Also, if you want to cash with me, young Peyton, young host boy, we're taking the Phillies to cover the run line at minus 127 in Chicago because the White Sox stink. And we're taking the over in San Fran as Giants. Justin Verlander is on the mound. So we're going to see some runs on both sides, punching this number over 8 at minus 110. We just talked a little bit about Ryan Sandberg, the passing of him yesterday due to cancer. Zeno, this was a guy who, at his time, he didn't hit a lot of they didn't hit a lot of home runs, especially middle infield, second baseman. The guy hit 282 in his career. What a career for him, and it looks like even a better guy off the field is what a lot of people were saying.
Yeah, third second baseman rather, to hit the 40 home run plateau as his primary position. He was kind of the guy who broke through. And look, Sandberg played the game the right way. You know, baseball players, despite the fact that we're bat flipping and we're high fiving and jumping around now, they all still understand the right way to play the game, and that's something that Ryan Sandberg embodied. He played the game hard, played it the right way every single night, and talked about that in his Hall of Fame speech. So I know the Cubs community, Cubs fans really lost one of their better ones.
Seems like a lot of people really, really appreciated Ryan Sandberg. A lot of cool stories on him. So if you haven't seen him, I'd encourage you guys to check it out. But it's time to get out of here today. I want to thank everyone for today's show. Soupy, Big Chuck, Raphael, our boy Mark from JTS, Zeno, and producer man making everything look absolutely beautiful. My name is Peyton Lodge, filling in for Coach today. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium. Have a great day.